Okay, this is our website, and we are, if you have any questions, you can email this address, kjacovitz at Jacovitz Learning. Just want to say we're licensed financial advisors, and we don't always advise in stocks. We do more like life insurance. We've become partners here to do annuities. But one of the things that we are doing is where some young people came to us because we are also teachers and tutors and counselors. And they said, how do you invest in stocks? So we started this slide. And here's one of our students, and we're just going to make it very brief. Here's what happens to a lot of people who are getting the market, and some of them are even adults, and people don't want to take risks. But here's what happens. Stocks are not guaranteed to earn any gains or any dividends, and you always have to look at what you're doing. So these are rules. Stocks do not always increase in value. You are taking a risk. And most of these, if you go on any of these websites that you use, Robinhood, Ally, what are some of the other ones? E-Trade, any of them, they will make you sign a disclosure. Okay, we can teach you how to minimize risks, but risk is always involved. So people are always like, well, why did I lose money on that when 2 months ago this was doing well and now all of a sudden it's going down? And that's why we kind of teach you how to be active traders. So here's what's going on. We wanted you to get the swing of things. And this is just a picture of one of the students here, and we're saying you have to get into the swing of things. If you're not ready, you can always use a trading platform. Some of you have parents and relatives who sat for their Series 6 or their Series 7, or you can get people like some of the people we have in here who do have financial advisors license. Those are some of the people in here have annuities training also. But anyway, you start slowly. You do not invest large amounts of money in the beginning. And just like our swinger over here, you definitely want to get your groove in first. Okay, you get your swing first before you take large stock amounts of money. Here's the other thing for young people. If your parents are not going to open an account for you and you're under 18 in Florida, 21 in some states like Utah, you may have to wait. And you may have to let them invest for you, or you may have to, but you can still do the research and go on, any finance channel like Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, any of them will come out and give you stock prices. You can even just do a general stocks, just say, hey, what's the price of this stock? General Google search. Okay, so here's step 4. If you're 16 now, 15 now, learn the concepts. Okay, learn the concepts even if you cannot trade due to age restrictions. Okay, so let's go right into this. You can look at what the stock symbol is. I'm not going to go ahead and say it. I was not authorized by this company, but this is a stock symbol. So if you go on Ally and you type these 4 letters in, that's called a stock symbol. When they're asking for one, that's what they're asking you to write. And that's what this is. So this is the symbol. Most symbols are 3 to 4 letters, a couple are 5, but that's what it is. I have this in black here because we have erased what the company actually is. But here's what happened. It's telling you right here that it's up $21.78. This means there are 8 shares. That's the number. And current price is $238.55. They're up 10%. Okay, and all of these numbers here actually mean something. This is the amount it went up during the day, and this is the amount that was initially purchased. And again, you don't have to do this over a period of 2 days. This coin stock was actually done over a period of about 4 months. So like 1 month, the person who did this did it for 2. The first investment was 2 shares, and then they decided to do 4 shares, and then they decided to do 2 shares. And if you look at it, it's telling you the increase is really 10%. You can forget this, we round this up. It's 10.05, but it's really 10%. And to be honest with you, most banks, unless you have like jumbo accounts, they're not doing 10 and 11%. Okay, they're doing more like 7 and 6. So your money can go up very quickly. And it's at 10%. It went up $21.78 since the inception. And right now, because this is green, this is a profit. If it was red, if this number here, $961.67 was red, it would mean you lost. Okay, here's your daily gain. And I think I said daily over here, but these are past prices. You don't really have to worry about these so much. You want to worry about your daily gains, and this is your overall gain. The reason this amount is so much is because you have 8 shares. And that is because even though the person's initial investment was 2 shares, okay, they went back over a period of time and bought 6. Okay, did we just choose to get somebody's share portfolio without their permission? No, of course not. This is one of the manager's portfolios, and actually we sign a disclosure to them because we don't give out people's personal information. We can't, and if we were, our licenses would be suspended. But here's what happens. You have $961.67 gain, and they're saying that you have $101.58% gain overall. That is a lot. 101.58. I meant if this would go up to 1,001, it would do just what Bitcoin did. Okay, maybe it will, maybe it won't. That's a big question mark. But here's the reality. This is the overall value of the stock. And that's not bad for 6 months. If you divide that, you're going to get into that. That would be about, those of you who are math majors, would be about $318 a month. And that's on top of, pretty much what you bought it for with all the shares. So this manager who works here, if this person were to go and buy 8 more shares, this amount would double. So, now you're talking about $2,099, actually $3,818. And what's happening though is, keep in mind now, if they bought 8 more shares, the cost to them is going to be roughly $1,908. Okay, but they're going to get some money over there, about $21 per share, and that money is going to be 21.78 times the extra 8 shares, so they're going to get a profit of $174.24, and that's what you see here. Okay, so it would be really great if the person had bought the shares, more of the shares, or had held on to the shares when the price was lower. But since they didn't, there's one thing they can do here is hope that this price increases. And if this price increases to 400, then they're going to make that money. But that's the problem. Since this company wasn't always as high, and when they were, they went down, that's a really risky thing to do. And what we tell people is, you don't want to go screaming because you lost $1,908.40. What you want to do is make sure that you're watching on a day-to-day basis how these shares are going. So anyway, let's take a look at what the stock price actually was, because this is what it is now. This stock price at one time was $66.13 on April 10th, 2023. On August 25th, 2023, the stock's price was $74.20. Now the price of the stock increased by $164.35. So everything's working pretty well. And again, you want to look at what the overall price is going to be, what's going to happen if something doesn't work the way it's supposed to and doesn't work the way that you want it to. But look at this 68.8% increase in stocks. It's your values. Look at your number. You went up anytime you see plus green. So if you want to go up to 100% or you want to go 68% from then till now, it's 100 overall total time, because that means that this person must have bought the stock when it was about $23 or about $43. So probably they bought it more in February 2023. And that was over a year ago. That's another thing. It takes forever for these stocks, not this stocks, but these stocks to grow. So you have to be very, very careful at what you are doing. So let's take a look at the next slide. Okay, so over the last 3 years, the stocks performed less than this. They performed less than this 68%, but overall it's doing well. It's a stock you want to take a look at, see how it's. Many people think the stock will continue, as did Bitcoin. However, we don't have a guarantee of this. Right now it's at 68%, 8%. And again, look at it from what the person who bought this stock. They bought it back in February 2023. That's been a year and a month ago. And that's not a bad price for stock going up. But again, stocks do sometimes take at least a year to 10 years to grow. If we'd like to look at how we can make stocks better, we can also rebalance. We can readjust this amount. We can sell 2 shares and make a profit. That will take this amount down to 6. You'll have less money over there though. Okay, so your amount, your new amount is going to definitely be less than it's going to be less than 1,908. Okay, because you don't have the total amount unless this price increases. And there's no guarantee it's going to increase. It increased $21.78. Okay, over about 2 days. Okay, so we don't know what it's going to do. So you can do that. You also don't have to do six shares. You can do 4, and then that way you gain some money when you sell it back in the market, and you would hit sell to get it back in the market, but you'll gain. Again, it's like taking a risk. It's up to you. Okay, do you want to, it's like loaning money to some of your friends. Some of them aren't going to pay you back. Some of them you are. So you never really loan more than what you're willing to lose. Same thing and same philosophy with stocks. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, Jacovitz at jacovitzlearning.com.